Fort Knox podcast. Today I'm going to be talking about kit and gear that I am bringing with me on this next trip. 2 trips, which are back to back. I will be leaving for a fucking week, traveling, bringing guns, gear, and more gear. But first, like everyone else, I want to shout out my sponsor, which is myself, overpassbags.com. If you need not a sub-def bag, but you want one, and you want to spend $100, here you go. Overpassbags.com. Anyways, leaving for a week, going on a week trip. First, I'm going out with Forward Observations Group. If you don't know, I have some involvement there. Kind of rad, whatever. Going to Florida, going to be shooting some media there, and then shooting right over to Wyoming and doing some stuff with Silencer Co. Yep, Silencer Co. shill. I should probably get on their payroll still. Have yet to get on payroll. Not that big of a deal. One of these days I'll get paid by someone. So, one of the things I want to talk about is the kit, the loadout. I talked about this in the last video when I went on this hunting trip out to Oklahoma. This one has changed just a little bit, and I will show you guys what that looks like. Yeah, that's a cool sticker. I've never seen that. And then I will talk about camera equipment, which is something I haven't talked about on this channel. And it's going to be really, really ridiculous for me to talk about camera stuff because for YouTube, I don't color grade my shit. I 90% of the time don't do any editing other than just chopping out some of the bad words that get said that I can't post on here because YouTube is fun for me still. So it's not a full-time job. We'll talk about the Pelican, talk about the loadout, talk about the guns. Up first, you're going to see this is the new Pelican that I did a video on a little bit of time ago. You can see a little bit of the lid. These are some new overpass bags that I will be releasing, which are hook back because I put loop on the lid on all my Pelicans, and that's how I run these. So the way that this is laid out currently right now is obviously an empty box with a bunch of shit thrown in it. So I am a big fan of Magpul DACA pouches. This one has some silencers in it. This one has Geisley 6-arc magazines in it. You can see the Overpass I-90 bag in here. I have a single I-90. This one I have swapped out for high-vis orange zipper tugs, which I will be putting on the website here pretty shortly. This has the Squid 6-arc in it and the Squid 10.5-inch upper with one lower. And because this next trip that I'm going on, we're actually doing some stuff with Forward that requires me to have body armor. So this trip, I fortunately, again, iPro, we're going to talk about the protection aspect of this. Traveling with guns is already a hassle, and then traveling with a carrier makes it that much more fun because you can see how big this is with all the shit on it. Spiritus, this is a 119. Shout out to Spiritus, love those dudes. So I got my carrier in here. I got my helmet in here. I have iPro, and then I have a bong bag with a thermal and PBS 31s. And because of the trip after that, I am going to run... I ain't running shit, let's be real. Not running for anything. I'll be running the Spiritus Mark V, which is my go-to chest rig. So that is the simple layout that I have for this setup, for this trip. I'm trying not to bring too much shit, which is easier said than done. And this is kind of the slimmest that it's ever been. And I'm not going to complain about it one bit because now I have the ability to, if need be, bring something back. So let's talk about the guns that I'm bringing, and then we'll talk about camera kit. So the first gun that we're going to be taking, I've already talked about this in the past. There has been an update to it, but it is going to be this right here, which is the Squid 6-arc. It has, well, we'll talk about all of it, right? CTR out back, Night Force 1-8. I did swap this out from the last trip that I was on, and I put a T2 on the top because of this this trip I'm going on. That might come handy, and we are running a Wilcox Raid XE. I will talk about lasers eventually. I said that I would. I'll get to it. I promise. 14.5-inch 6-arc. Proof barrel. That hasn't changed. The ARCA hasn't. The ARCA from Annex hasn't changed on here. I am going to be running a scythe, a tie scythe with an ASR on this to quiet it down just a little bit, and then I will be running a EOTech thermal on the front of this like I did last trip. Yep. That is the Squid Siphon. This is a pre-production unit right here. We're going to be releasing these here fairly shortly. And the Squid 13-inch fucking rail. Man, I love this fucking gun. So, there you go. This is the 14.56 arc I was told I had to bring with me. And then almost identical is going to be the 10.5-inch Squid. Same, almost identical. Sub-def lower, Squid Siphon, Acro 193, which is going to be on the new castle mount. This is a pre-production unit. I'm running another Wilcox Raid XE. Same Echo Arms on the steel Echo Arms fucking mount. So this thing doesn't have a ton of fucking flex or any at all. And then I'm running a Geisley Super Select Fire because that's what you run in these, and Night Selectors. So that is the 10.5-inch gun that I am bringing with me on this trip, and this one is going to be running a Velos K. So, oh, and don't mind the Switchology. That's coming when I get there. So, there's the gun. Those are the two guns that I'm bringing with me. And now we're going to talk about the primary stuff that I'll be shooting. So, if you're not a camera dork, you probably should just turn this shit off. Move past it. Just know that I'm bringing a bunch of shit with me to go shoot. If you're not a camera guy, then this section doesn't truly matter to you. But I will talk about this. So, this is what I typically drag with me if I'm going to be shooting photos or media for fucking anyone. This is my very, very slimmed down kit. This is the travel kit. This is actually the carry-on. Yeah. So, I am a Sony shooter. Most people probably could have guessed that. I am shooting an A9 Mark II. I actually run the grip on this because I have fairly large hands when it comes to actually using Sony products, which most people hate fucking Sony bodies because they're too small. So A9 Mark II in here. And then when it comes to lens selection, I shoot a 35mm G Master 1.4. I am bringing the 12 to 24 G Master. You don't understand why this thing's fucking cool. You probably never skated or rode BMX in your entire fucking life. That's fine. And then last but not least, new for this trip, especially for me since I don't traditionally shoot fucking zooms, the Power Dick zoom right here, which is going to be the 200, right? The 70 to 200, the white body. And then one of the other things that I'm actually bringing with me, which I don't like shooting most of the time, but I will do it, is I may either bring the Leica M7 with the 15mm on here. If you don't know what this is a film camera. Yeah. So, fun, awesome, expensive for no fucking reason. Kind of finicky just because it's a fucking German camera. Actually, it's really robust. I love that thing. I just got it back from service. But the camera that I am bringing with me on this trip, which is probably one of my favorite film cameras that I own, this is a Hasselblad X-Pan 2. If you don't know what an X-Pan 2 is, you can look this up. They are pano cameras. So this is a 35mm camera. You can see this one is very well loved. It is a 35mm cam, but it takes multiple frames. So, kind of rad. Then we're going to be bringing some film. This one's actually going to go in my backpack. We're going to be shooting some Portra, some T-Max. And then dudes be like, oh, hey, how come you don't shoot film more often? Well, here's the reality. I'm going on a trip for 7 days. I'm bringing one film camera. This is not going to be enough film for me to shoot. And then you have the problem that this is like $300 in film that you then have to get fucking processed. So shooting film is not the most fun if you're in a hurry. It's not instant. That's why dudes, they get excited about film. So Hasselblad A9 Mark II. Quick and dirty, that is the setup with the cameras and the kit and the guns that I am bringing with me on this trip. I have a GoPro. I will be bringing that, actually. Everyone always asks, oh, what's up with the GoPro? Well, the GoPro fucking works. If you do one of these cases, it actually makes it a little bit easier. Has a microphone on it. You could do an 1/8 inch input on it, which is kind of neat. So maybe I'll just carry this in my backpack. Maybe I'll do some vlog stuff with it. But that is the kit. That's the gear. Those are the guns. Going on a trip, and I will post a little bit more, hopefully while I'm there or when I get back. So Fort Knox Podcast. Later.